I'm Priya Prakash from D4SC, and basically we run an urban innovation company that brings data and activity together so people can come together to create better cities and in real time. And we don't make a difference between the physical world and the digital world. It's really about continuing the conversation, and it's trying to understand how you can create systemic change by working with different people from the infrastructure layer, on the service layer, and on the experience layer, and how you can create tools for people to define those experiences.
And tell us, how did you get involved with Massive Small?
Well, Massive Small was actually accidental discovery when I started a project in my local post office in my neighborhood where I live in Camberwell in South London, and it kind of became quite big and it was progressing by itself, and started tweeting about it, and then Kelvin kind of came across, and he had posted it also, came across a smart urbanism group on LinkedIn, and that was quite a nice group, lots of people there, and we posted a link back, and one conversation led to the other, and finally the language that the community was using in smart urbanism really felt like the kind of community I wanted to belong to, because the problem with this space is everybody uses their own language and define things, and it was quite nice to see how Massive Small has kind of touched on the core. There are a lot of practitioners who are doing change projects in cities are able to relate to the common issues and also the challenges and opportunities. So I think that's how I got involved.
Okay, and how do you see Massive Small growing in the next 8 years?
Well, I just backed Massive Small on Kickstarter, so I'm hoping that it grows. So there you go, it's got my endorsement. I think Massive Small is probably a kind of a language practice. It's the more, and I think what Kelvin and Andrew and the team are doing here is giving the tools to the people who are in the field, making the change and making it quite accessible. And I think practitioners themselves don't have the bandwidth to do that. And I think Massive Small is really doing a great job in creating this platform for people to come together and share their knowledge. So just like Christopher Alexander spoke about design patterns, Massive Small is that vehicle to take these patterns that we've kind of used in our own neighborhood or city and make that widely available so people don't have to have the same issues. You see an issue in London, it could be applied in Nairobi, it could be applied in Mumbai. So I think Massive Small, the power of it is going to be a lot about the ambassadors and the network effect. I'm a big believer in collective intelligence and network effects, so fingers crossed it's going to happen.
And then if you could sum up Massive Small in one word, what would that be?
I think Massive Small is a big small punch in the face of changing top down and bottom up and big business. I think it's the kind of David Goliath kind of an answer to the changes we see in our cities, and not just cities but also in the rural areas, and it's giving those tools to other kind of Davids to be able to make that change.
Not one word, but a really good summary. Thank